Well, hello and welcome once again to another one of our wonderful CRIPtic podcasts. Yes, what we're going to do, as you know, hopefully if you've watched a few already, is we get to meet the artists that are going to be taking part in the CRIPtic Arts Pit Party Showcase at the Pit Theatre at the Barbican here in sunny London. It is very sunny today, on the 19th and 20th of November this year. Don't worry, it's also going to be streamed online. So if you can't get to London, you still can get to see what is going to be a fantastic night. Today, we are joined by the one, the only, the wonderful Miss Jacqui.
Yay!
Hello, thanks so much for doing this. Now, I always ask all of the artists to do their own biography. I think, you know, in our industry, we do tend to get asked to do long and short biographies, so don't make it too long. But if you could tell our wonderful viewer, listener and reader, who you are, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm Miss Jacqui. I'm a spoken word artist, songwriter, musician at times. I am about all things representation, all things music, and all things arts in general. Yeah, I just have a good time creating stuff.
Which is kind of one of the joys of doing this kind of work, isn't it? Is that it's wonderful because I always sort of think, I always feel sorry for people that love sport because they've always got to come in first, whereas all we do is do our best, and and then always going to be someone that likes it, and I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one day, of course, we want to be selling enough records to have gold albums all over the walls, you know, our equivalent of a gold medal, but still, you know, it's still a joy on the journey, which is kind of fun. So what was it that made you think, CRIPtic, I'm going to apply for that? That sounds like a great thing.
Do you know what? It was like a amalgamation of a few things. So I've known about CRIPtic for like a while, and I've known about Jamie and Jamie's work for like forever. And at the time, I was like going through this like weird phase of like, I just want to be in a space or an environment that I don't have to explain like how important access and disability is, especially from the year that we've just had of the world going to crap. So I was like, oh, should I apply? Shouldn't I apply? And I applied for like other things like during that time as well. And it just felt like nobody understood that I don't, like, my access needs is not like me being a diva. It's a thing that I need to be able to do what I want to do. So I was like, yeah, apply for CRIPtic. The worst you can get is a no. Like, do you know what I mean? The world's not going to implode on itself. So I did. And I, like, even during the interview, I was just like, oh my God, they just get it. I don't have to, like, explain or, like, tear out my heart and be like, this is why I need this thing. And I think CRIPtic is, like, an amazing, like, organization. So why not?
Do you know what? It's funny because, like, I mean, I used to be on tour as a musician, and I did it all through the 80s and all through the 90s, and I didn't ever ask for access at all. I just went to venues and just fought, and it was horrible. And there was always a kind of feeling as well that you were performing at a venue that you've crawled up 5 flights of stairs to get onto, but no one else could. So you knew there was none of your team in the audience. And working on CRIPtic has completely opened my eyes to what's possible and what we need to be, what the whole industry needs to be providing. So, you know, hopefully it will showcase not only all of your wonderful talent, but also a new way of doing things that might mean that you don't have to spend the next bit of your career going, here is what I want, and I'm not being a diva. I'm not asking for M&Ms with no red ones. I'm asking for what basically is just basic. So what barriers have you faced?
Oh.
Yeah, come on, this is going to be a long one.
I don't know if we got that kind of time. What barriers have I faced in my career? I'm surprised that I'm still continuing. Like, when I started in like theatre, when I was a really young child. I'm like 1,000 years old now, so yeah. And I did that like professionally and stuff like that, but then it got to a point that all of the roles I was getting was like, oh, woe is you, the little sister, the really like fragile best friend, the sick person. And I was just like, I was going through like life and puberty and discovering who I was as a disabled person. So it was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. If those are the roles I'm going to get, I don't want to do. And I was always interested in music, like always. I always loved music. I come from a really like musical family, like the stuff that like my parents played when I was a kid, my grandparents played when I was a kid. But I never saw a disabled person. So I was just like, oh, that like I can't do that. So that was a barrier in itself. Not being able to see somebody who looked like me really hindered my idea of the career that I could or wanted to have. And I always was like into engineering and stuff. So like I was used to record and edit and like all of the rappers from the estate, like everyone wanted to be a rapper. And then I thought, yeah, that's the only way I can be in music is like to be in the background, just pressing buttons. And then I got to a point where I was just like, no, but I really want to perform. Like, that's the thing that I want to do. And then I met Cat Francois, who is like a phenomenal performance poet. And when I thought poetry was like old white men in turtlenecks, or poems were like war poems from school. So it's all of these things were barriers because it was like I didn't see myself in what I wanted to do. But on the other side of that, the access barriers, like I shouldn't have to fight to have an accessible stage when you booked me. That always used to irk me. Like, you knew what you were getting and you still did the dumb thing. Like, oh yeah, oh well, you can't go on stage, but can you perform in front of the stage? No, boo-boo. I put in the time, the energy, the effort to be on the bill, and you're telling me to perform. What is this? What is this? The 1800s? No. And even venues that people pick and things like that. Like, in all honesty, I think my career would be a lot further along. And that's just me being honest. If those access barriers weren't there, but also the representation was there, I think I would be flying.
Do you know what? It's something I think that, I mean, I was really lucky. I was a early teenager when Ian Dury hit the charts, and I had a caliper and he had a caliper, and so it was like kind of, oh, that's me. I genuinely remember thinking, oh, I could be a pop star. And I was a really good kid at school. I was really swotty. And then suddenly overnight, I just turned into this rebellious little nerk that I ought to be a pop star. I don't care. And then that backroom boy thing happened to me, that they said, oh, you won't be a pop star, but you could work in a recording studio. And then I went in a wheelchair and they went, oh, you can't work in a recording studio now because you can't get up and downstairs. So then I built my own, basically. And then I was like you, doing all the stuff for other people. And I was in a band, and then my lead singer left and we had a gig, so I had to sing as well. So I turned into Howard Jones before Howard Jones. Not that I was bitter. Anyway, so what have you got lined up for us at CRIPtic? What are you doing?
So I'm doing all new stuff, which has been a long time coming. For me, I had like all of these big plans for 2020, like I can't even explain how big these plans were. And when the world shut down, it was kind of like, oh, okay. So I had to go back to the drawing board and go, actually, just write stuff that you want to release, write stuff that has no pressure. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And write stuff that you like, things that you want to talk about that you haven't had the opportunity. So yeah, there's gonna be new stuff. I'm excited. Couple of tracks. I'm planning like set stuff in my head and like all of that. Yeah, so we're gonna have a good time.
Yes. And how are you coming along? How's it coming? Because of course, when it, or like you said, when all this started, when CRIPtic sort of said yes, everyone's work was quite undeveloped, wasn't it? And there's been a whole, you know, it's mentoring, and Jamie is there supporting. And how are you going? How near are you to be ready?
Well, that is a good question. No, I think it's going well. I think this process has been so good for me in terms of like, there's not like immense pressure, and I'm not saying that I'm not working hard, but there's like, I can do what I need to do to create the work that I want to create. And when I got the yes, I literally panicked for like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie, because I was just like, I can do whatever I want. Like, I haven't had that in so long. I was just like, there's so much I want to say and so much I want to do. And the process has been really like wild and wacky, because also having my access needs understood really helped me reshape how I create. Because before, if it's just to create for creating's sake, let's say, I always had to figure out a way how to create the soundtrack that I wanted, because I can't play instruments anymore. But actually having me hum to somebody what I need, and then listen and like have that exchange of, oh, these are actually my ideas coming to the forefront, has been great. And like, it's come a long way. And I'm like, now I'm actually thinking about the lyrics and the message and the musicality and all of that. Like, it's come a long way. There's like a few things I need to tighten up, a few harmonies I need to add. And yeah, but it's come such a long way, and I'm like super duper proud of it. So
one of the big elements about this whole performance is that it's going to be accessible too, isn't it? So
yeah.
I know lots of the other artists are kind of having to explore, maybe for the first time, how to make what they do accessible to the audience, which can include audio description of, you know, what you're doing on stage and how to fit that into the performance. So is that all coming along nicely? Because is that something you were new to, or had you done it before in the past?
I'm not new to it. I've been in like shows and done shows where they've been accessible, but I've never had to do it for myself.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, if I'm doing a show and there's BSO interpreters, I just have to make sure that my lyrics are right, and I send them my lyrics. I don't have to think about the like, oh, actually booking them or all of that. And not that I have to do that now, but like, it's really challenged me in terms of, why do I keep it in someone else's hands? Like, this is something I can do. Even in terms of like performance and creative captioning, and how can that just be a part of my package as an artist, as well as like lighting, like just really thinking about every single aspect, especially as an independent like artist. I don't have a team of people. I don't, like, I literally do everything by myself. So to be able to be pushed and challenged into thinking about performance and how all of these things can live together and it be even better experience, has been really useful. And like, this will not be the last time that I use the things I've learned. So yeah.
I mean, I think that's the main ethos behind it, isn't it? Is that what Jamie wants is not only to give everyone this chance, but to make sure they all upskill and then go forth into the world with the confidence to know that they know what they're doing, and also the confidence to be able to say, this is what I expect.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what you all do. And that brings us kind of nicely to how, and say, you know, someone's thinking, should I go? I don't know. How would you get them to say, oh, absolutely, I'm coming? Sell your bit of the show so that they go, well, I have to see that. If nothing else, I have to see Miss Jacqui.
Oh, that's wow. That's a great question.
Especially as someone who isn't as egotistical. Obviously, you're far more kind of modest, you see. So this is another one of those access challenges. You've got to push yourself to sell yourself.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Okay. If you've heard my work before, come and hear new stuff. If you've never heard me before, come and experience a part of my journey that is going to be the beginning of a really great career in my eyes. Come out if you can. Like, we've been in our houses. It's going to be completely accessible. Like, you really don't have an excuse, unless you don't live in London, but it will be live streamed. So you really don't have an excuse. And if not for me, support the community of deaf, disabled, neurodivergent artists. Come and see us. Let us be seen. And you're going to have a great time. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of everyone else as well. So even if you don't like my set, you will like a set. But yeah, you'll have a good time regardless.
You know what? That is so sweet. And I mean, I'm now going to sing the praises of Miss Jacqui. We had a sharing, and lots of industry people came, and loads of them contacted me afterwards and kept going, "Oh, Miss Jacqui, oh my God, oh wow, she's going to be massive." It was brilliant. So it's a great night, folks. You are going to enjoy everything, but you are going to love singing along and that uplifting stuff when Miss Jacqui hits the stage. So you don't forget that on the 19th and the 20th of November at the Barbican Pit Theatre, you can see the show. You can go online to the Barbican website and buy your tickets, and it will be streamed. It won't be live streamed. We're going to film the Friday and then transmit it on the Saturday night, and it will be on for a whole week so that we can make it look even more professional and wonderful and edit out any moments that might go a little wrong. So you get the
you should come live if you want to see the real.
Come and see the live and see what's going on. And with that, I'm going to say thank you so much, Miss Jacqui. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. There's going to be more to come, so stay tuned. And with that, we're going to say bye-bye.
Bye.